This is an 86 K5 Blazer, and today's objective is to get the 700 R4 and the 208 transfer case out. I lost high gear in my transmission, which is a real piss off, so I gotta do a tranny swap, and pretty much just gonna do a step-by-step plan. See, I'm doing it by myself, so I've only found a few videos of this, so this will kind of be like for somebody that just wants to know everything. So yeah, I'm just going to give a step-by-step plan taking it out. Okay, first thing, you're going to want to remove your rear dry shaft, which I've already removed. You're going to want to remove your front dry shaft, which goes on right there. As you can see, I do have a lot of stuff off here at this time. There's a bar that bolts onto these two bolts that runs up to one of the bell housing bolts on the transmission, way up there. I have that undone. I have the cross member undone, and I have it supported with a jack right there on the main part of the transfer case. I also have blocks under the transmission pan. I have the speedometer cable unplugged. There's a full wheel drive plug-in indicator. It's right there. You'll be able to see it, yeah, right there. I have my four-wheel drive linkage undone. I have my transmission lines undone. You see the two up there, I have them undone. Torque converter bolts, the three in the front, I have them undone. My torque converter is just sitting there. I have the whole cross member and skid plate off. I took the transmission mount off, or the transfer case mount off. Those two bolts right there. I took my lock-up torque converter plugging out, but barely ever used. It goes in right there. I unhooked my shifting linkage, as you can see, and there's also a little screw right up there you're supposed to undo. I undid it. So yeah, your lock-up torque converter, your shifting mechanism, your lines, your dry shafts, the cross member, and the four-wheel drive indicator. Remember that. And you're going to want to unhook your TV cable off the back of your on your carburetor. You want to unhook it and just kind of droop it down. Right now I'm at the step. I'm going to drain the oil in my transfer case, and I'm going to separate the transfer case and the transmission at that bolt right. There's a bolt there, there's a bolt in there, and there's two bolts on the other side. I'm going to separate that and then kind of lower it gently down on my chest, then roll out. Now I'm going to take my bottom transfer case bolt out and then drain the oil. Fuck. It'd be a lot better if you ran the transfer case a long time, so then the oil will be super thin, and then unplug it. But the truck's been sitting here for about a full day, and but it still came out kind of good. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I remove the jack stand underneath and it was underneath the transfer case. I'm now putting the jack stand under the the stronger part of the pan right here where all the bends are. I'm going to lay a block of wood on top of the jack stand, so then all the weight is on this side of the pan. Undo these 4 bolts that I showed you before that are holding the centerpiece that holds the transfer case to the transmission. I'm going to undo them, and then hopefully everything comes apart easy, so I'm going to slide this transfer case right off the tail shaft of the transmission. I got all 4 bolts out. I got 1 bolt up there just turned in a couple threads because the transfer case is already starting to move. Everything was 100% unhooked, so I'm going to try to muscle this out myself, and hopefully everything goes well. Rear tail shaft thing is friggin' leaking, of course. Okay. Oh. Motherfucker. Oh. Oh. That's how it's done. That is how you take a 208 transfer case out. Holy fuck. Actually, it wasn't that bad, just landed on my chest. So this is what the back of the transmission looks like. So you can see there's a seal here. And, it's kind of neat looking. See, there's a seal on the inside, so it keeps the actual transmission oil in the transmission when you're pulling it apart. So, yeah. This transfer case, wow, fuck, those screws too long. And, so yeah, so now it's the job to get that piece of shit out. Right now I'm going to turn the 4 transmission to torque converter bolts, the brace that I took out. I'm going to turn the bolts back into the back of the transmission just so the bolts don't get misplaced, because these here are, I think, they're the proper special on bolt, and I wouldn't want to get them mixed up if I put them in the container with all my other transmission bolts. Okay, so now the objective is to get the transmission removed from the back of the engine. Now I'm leaving my engine in, so I gotta have it braced from underneath so that my engine doesn't tip once I unhook the transmission. It's really hard to see. Yeah, you won't be able to see it. There's 2 transmission bolts here at the top. There's one here, and then there's one on the other side. They're harder, they're extremely hard to get at the bottom, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 2 bolts out first. My bottom 4 are still already in, and I can get at them from underneath. Okay, so after you get those 2 bolts out, one bolt here goes onto the dipstick, and you can barely see it though, right here. See, what I'm doing is I'm actually dropping the transmission, and the motor's going to be staying in probably this position, and the arch in my the arch in the neck for the tube for the dipstick, it won't be able to go straight down, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take the jack out from underneath the transmission down there, and I'm going to roll it out, pull the dipstick out itself, because there will be some oil that will come out, and have the container underneath in that one corner of the pan, and try to catch as much as I can, and then when I'm done, I'm going to get a clean rag and stuff down the hole, so not like a big other splash will come out when I'm actually lowering the transmission. And the TV cable, the one I was talking about, is this one right here. You're going to want to push in on this, because I got a aftermarket brace. Unhook it right here off your carburetor, like so. It unhooks like that. You got to push those tabs in, release it, and then try to feed it down to the transmission so when you're lowering it doesn't catch. Got the dipstick out. Came out super easy. I had silicone on it before. Oh yeah, that's nice. Fucking container tipped over. But yeah, I got it sitting like this. So all the oil that came out of that is going to that. I'm just going to wait till that stops dripping, then put a rag in it. Okay, now I got a rag tucked up and down in the hole of the dipstick, just so, like dirt stuff, because the transmission's kind of greasy and dirty. I don't want any dirt going down inside this transmission, because this transmission probably will be going through and seeing why I lost my fucking high gear. I got 2 bolts there now. Well, there's one out there. Well, I don't know if you can see, but the wiring's hiding up that other bolt. So there. What I'm gonna do is put a jack stand with a block of wood with a rag over on the oil pan of the engine so the engine doesn't move. Main thing with doing this, you never ever get a block of wood, or you never put an actual, just the head of the jack stand on the oil pan. You're gonna want to run a block of wood from this side of the from that side of the pan to that side of the pan, so that it evens out. You don't want anything in the middle, because then your oil pump's there, and then your whole thing will fuck up. And that's how I'm gonna keep my engine level. Main problem I'm going to have is that my transmission is actually wider than my headers. I don't know if you can tell, but right between those 2 lines, that's the ear of my transmission. So I'm going to have to pull the transmission back on this jack, and then hopefully be able to find a place where I can lower it. If not, I'm going to have to kind of lower it down and then turn it in the air, because I really don't want to take my headers off, because that's a really big fucking job, especially in this thing. Actually, it's not that big of a job, it's just something I don't want to have to do. Yeah, those lines up there, there's 2 fittings. I probably should put something in those holes too, because shit will start pouring out. So the torque converter bolts are out. I think everything's good to go. So, yeah. Now it's the big fucking puppy. Well, I got all the transmission bolts out up there. All of them up there. I think I already got it split. Yeah, I already have it split. If your truck, see there, torque converter's sitting there. My torque converter. If your truck is rusty whatsoever, you're gonna probably have a trouble with your dowel pins. There's a dowel pin on both sides that hold the transmission to the engine block, and I remember when I first took the original engine out of this, it was a real bitch of a job. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. I have it braced there on the oil pan, as you can see. Nothing's going to happen. And you got to remember your drain plug. It cannot be touching against your drain plug, because it'll push up on it, and well, it'll just be a lot of strain because that engine weighs a lot. So now it's just the objective of Now it's just the objective of getting it out. I gotta watch those lines, even though I gotta replace them because the lines are fucked from the person that did it before. And hopefully, to God, get this transmission out so I don't have to fuck right between, like those ears. You can see one sticking out there. I think that one's gonna be fine. It's just gonna be trouble with the other one. So yeah. Well, it looks like now I gotta take the exhaust off. And, well, not the headers. I'm just gonna do the exhaust, and then I'm gonna hopefully be able to pull the transmission back far enough so oh fuck. Hopefully pull it back far enough so I can get this fucking thing out. This exhaust, I don't think would ever pass inspection anyway, so I'll have to get exhaust on. Okay. Oh, fuck. And that's how it's fucking done. Yeah, so I got the tranny out. Floor is actually, tunnel's in some shape. Transmission's now on the ground. I just kind of tucked it up over and lifted it up on my chest, and then set the front end down. I set the back end down all at once, and then I set it right down onto the ground. So now I'm gonna go to the other side and pull the transmission out from underneath the truck. So there. Got the 700 R4 transmission out. I got the 208 transfer case out. There's the cross member. I took that out the day before I start doing the video. It's all removed from the truck. I had to take my exhaust down. I got cherry bombs on it. So it looks like now I got a jack up on the oil pan right now. And the back of the engine stuff. And the transmission lines, I got to replace them. Putting it in is going to be kind of a bitch. I'm going to put them in with the same way. I'm going to have the transfer case off the transmission, put the transmission up in, bolt it all up to the block, and then put the transfer case on last, and then put oil in everything, and then put everything back together. So yeah, I don't know how long it's been. I came out here at 8. I'm guessing it's probably 10. So that's a 2-hour job. Note, I did that by myself. And yeah. So that's how to take a 700 R4 and a 208 transfer case out of an 86 K5 Blazer. Thanks.